This conference will now be recorded.
Welcome to Techvanto to learn Python programming course. If you really don't know about Python programming, then don't worry. We are providing Python programming course from basic level to advanced level. Not only that, we are providing 90% practical approach in this course. So quickly, I'm going to start this session without any hesitate. Moving to next slide. So what will you learn from this course? There are several contents are available in this PPT that you can observe clearly so that you can learn. First of all, you can learn that is introduction of Python programming, variables and data types and operators in Python. After that, you can learn conditional and control statements, loops and typecasting. And moreover, you can learn strings, numbers, lists, tuple, dictionaries, sets and date and time. After that, you can learn functions and modules in Python. And after that, you can learn file handling and exception handling. Moreover, you can learn object-oriented programming concepts and mail sending and how to do multi-threading also, and how you can learn how to connect with database by using Python programming and how to interact with networks by using Python. And you can learn also graphic user interface by using Python. And after that, you can learn web scraping by using Python. And finally, you can learn how to get an idea about Python image processing. And then after that, you can learn Python for data science and Python for machine learning. So finally, we will assign some projects to you that you can work upon that projects. Don't worry, we will guide you how to do that projects. These are the contents and you can learn from this course. So moving to the next slide, that is introduction of Python programming. I'm going to start the section number 1. So in this section, it contains what is Python and history of Python, feature scope and applications of Python. And moreover that you can learn what is the difference between Python programming compared with other programming language. And after that you can learn how to do install Python ideally and version recommended what we are using and how to work that version 3.6 or 3.7 like that. And after that you can learn features of Python, and finally you can learn how to execute the programs in Python. So moving to the next slide, what is Python? Python is high level programming language and interpreted programming language, or otherwise you can call general purpose programming language also. Python is very easy to learn, read the code and write the code in an efficient manner, and it is very simple to understand the code and syntaxes also. And it therefore it reduces the cost cost of programming maintenance, and it supports modules and packages also, which encourages program modularity, and you can reuse the code without having rewrite the code again and again. You can reuse the code simply in this Python programming. Moving to the next slide, that is history of Python. As you can observe, I mentioned here brief history of development Python programming language. You can observe in this picture. Python was conceived in 1980 by Guido van Rossum at CWI in Netherlands as a successor to the ABC language. In 1992, the first version of Python programming was launched. After that, in 1994, Python 1.4 version was released with some features like Lambda, Map, and etc. And after that, in 2000, Python 2.0 version was released with several improvements. But after some years, the programmers might started to work on projects in Python, but they faced several problems while developing the project. After 8 years from 2000, in 2008, Python 3.0 version was introduced to programmers to develop the projects. This is the history of Python. You can observe this slide as image. You can consider my words and you can write anywhere in history of Python. This is the one history of Python. Nothing more like that. Moving to the next slide, future scope of Python. Python can be used in science community field and system administration and web application development also. As you can consider in science community field, for example, bioinformatics. It is a role for scripting language in major software suites that may freely available in scientific libraries. As you can consider system administration like Unix, WebLogic, and WebGL. In Unix, Python already pre-installed in the platform of OS. Coming to the web application development, you can consider as CGI, Jython servlets. So here I mentioned Jython servlets. So what is Jython? Jython is nothing but an open source for implementation of Python programming integrated with Java platform. A programmers can compile the Python code to Java bytecode. Apart from this slide, there is a bright future scope of Python that is artificial intelligence. Nowadays, Python has become more famous and very easy to write the code. That's why this Python programming can be used in artificial intelligence. If you can learn this Python, you can use in artificial intelligence also. And moving to the next slide, that is applications of Python. As I mentioned here, Python applications. Just you can observe this diagram. There are lot of applications are available in Python. Python is used in many application domains. I here can some examples I will explain, like web and internet development. Python offers many choices for web development frameworks such as Django and Pyramid. And not only that, Python standard library supports many internet protocols like HTML, XML, and JSON, and image processing, and etc. 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 And moving to the scientific and numeric applications of Python is widely used in scientific and numeric computing. For example, we can consider as a SciPy. It is a collection of packages of mathematics, science, and engineering. For example, you can consider numeric as a pandas is data analysis and modeling library that you can consider as an example of scientific and numeric. Moving to the education applications of Python, it is education also it will come. Python is super language for teaching programming, both at the intermediate level and advanced level also. And it is very easy to teach the Python programming course. Those who wants to pursue like education, who wants to become a teacher, who wants to become a lecturer also, it is very easy. And moving to the next application, that is a desktop GUIs. The Techvanto GUI library includes the most binary distributions of Python. For example, you can consider some toolkits like several platforms are available separately, like WX widgets. Otherwise, you can consider as a PySide or PyQt. Platform specifically, it is also available here. And moving to the next application like software development, Python is often as a support language for software developers for build, control, and management, testing, and in many other ways. It's not like that only one thing. And for example, is you can consider like SCOM for build control. And moving to the next application like business application. Python also is used to build ERP and e-commerce system. For example, you can consider as Voodoo is an all-one in management software that offers a range of business applications. These are the applications of Python. I hope that you guys are understand. If you guys are not understand, that you can just observe in this PPT as consideration diagram, and then you can search from the internet, and it is also available from over there, and you can learn from over there. And move to the next slide. Compare with another programming languages. What is the difference between Python programming languages and compared with other programming languages? In this, it is a open source for implemented of Python programming languages, and it mainly a script is interpreted in Python programming. And not only that, Python programmings are shorter than or equivalent to Java or C++ or otherwise you can consider it as a HTML, JavaScript, or etc. etc. And Python is an object-oriented programming language, or otherwise it is an interpretable language, and it takes very less time to execute the programs compared with other programming languages. You can consider as Java, C++, it contains lot of brackets, alibis, and etc. etc. But in Python, it is not like that. it takes very less time and it takes very less memory to store the data, and it is free open source for implementation of Python programming. That's a difference between Python and compared to other programming languages. And moving to the next slide, we are going to discuss how to install and how to environment setup. Python is already pre-installed in Unix systems like your Linux and Mac operating system. But in Windows, it is not like that. You can download from, as I mentioned here, one link. You can download from here Python IDE and install the version. But we are using Python version like 3.6.4. We are currently working on that. It is very good platform. You can work upon that. Otherwise, you can choose this. It is very good. And following steps I mentioned here, just you can observe this link. Just go to this link and just click on it. After that, you can go to release version like Python 3.6.4. You can just select like this, and after that you can go to optional features and you can select like this, and after that you can go to advanced options and then you can select these three and click to install, and it is going to be installed. After that I'm going to explain the features of Python. What are the features of Python? Python is very simple. And number two, Python is not dependent. It is an independent platform. Python is open source, as I explained before. Python is a high-level programming language, as earlier I discussed with this topic, and interpreted as this one also I discussed. And it is a library support. And Python contains object-oriented programming concepts also, like classes and objects, and multiple inheritance, single-level inheritance, function overloading, and dynamic allocation. A lot of concepts are available in Python, as we can discuss further later. So moving to the next slide, that is how to execute the Python basic programs. You can just p is equal to hello world, then print a, it will print hello world, or otherwise you can print directly name with double quotes. It will give the output as Rajkumar, or otherwise you can write any number in the bracket. It will give output like, or otherwise you can type it 1 2 3 4. It will give like this. So suppose we will see one example here. So I'm going to print my name like Raj, and I'm going to print. Let's see what will be the output. See, output is Raj, and otherwise it can directly print Raj. It will come. It will print the Raj. You can print like this also. If you will print like this, A is equal to 1 is double quote, 1 is single quote. See here, it will come, it will show the syntax error. You can't do like this. Just either you have to do in single quotes or either you have to do in double quotes. That's it. Once you can observe in single quotes, it will come. See, output will come. Or otherwise you can mention the numbers also. It will print. It will come like this, and after that you can mention the in double quotes 1 2 3 4, 1 2 4, then anything you can mention. It will print 1 2 4. These are the just samples. We are going to start the execute the programs. Will come Python 3. I'm using Python 3.6 portion. If you guys any doubt here, and then you can, without any hesitate, you can contact us. Otherwise you can guys ask any doubt with mentors, or otherwise you can ask me also. Okay, moving to the next one. Wait a minute, it will come. Oh my god. After that, okay, I'm going to discuss about various kinds of job profiles in Python. If you guys are really good in Python programming, a lot of opportunities are available to select the job profiles. One is software engineer, you can select, or otherwise you can select Python developer, research analyst, data analyst, data scientist, and software developer. These are the various kinds of job profiles, and extra job profiles are available, but I mentioned here very famous job profiles in Python. You can choose anyone, otherwise you can become anyone. It will good. And I need to discuss about packages in Python also. According to the payscale.com, I mentioned here as a some package, some average package in Python. So those who want to become as a software developer, they are providing, companies are providing minimum $71,557. Oh my God. If you can become as a senior software developer, they are providing 1,10,250. And after that you can choose DevOps engineer. They are providing $63,645. Coming to the data scientist, if you can become the data scientist, you have to do a lot of work, like you can learn Python programming and artificial intelligence, machine learning. Otherwise you can choose or language, you can choose any programming language. So for suppose if you can choose Python, it is very easy. Python programming, from Python you can start any machine learning like an artificial intelligence. You can work upon this, and finally you will become a data scientist. And after that you can become a data scientist. They will provide $96,674. These are the average packages of Python. And I want to discuss about top recruiters in Python. Moving to the next slide here, there is a lot of famous companies are that using in Python, like you can consider like Google, IBM, Facebook, and Reddit, Yahoo, Dropbox, and EDX, and Netflix, Amazon. A lot of companies are using Python. If you guys are really good in Python programming, and otherwise you can learn Python is in a very good way, these companies will hire you. There is a lot of opportunities or vacancies are available in companies. If you guys are become as a Python developer, or otherwise you can become a artificial intelligence or data scientist or machine learning engineer, there is a very high scope. First, you can learn Python programming and start applying this Python programming to any technology. That's the thing. So thank you guys. I'm going to end this session. If you guys any doubt, without any hesitate, you can ask us. Okay, thank you.